With us now to discuss President Obama's address to the Congress and the goals he outlined is Voice of America's Jim Malone. Welcome, Jim.
Welcome, Jim.
You look fine up there. Now, tell me, the president sought to reassure the American people that in spite of the current economic state of the nation and the anxiety that accompanies that, everything will be just fine and hopefully very soon. Now, looking through the speech, did he succeed in doing that?
Well, it's interesting. I was listening to some post-speech analysis this morning on some of the American networks. CBS News, for example, was doing some polling of viewers as they watched the speech. And by the end of the evening, apparently Mr. Obama had succeeded somewhat. His approval rating for the people that were being polled went from somewhere in the 60 percentile to 80%. Not only that, the understanding that voters have of his economic program, which is quite complex, also shot up in this mini instant poll. So that's good news for the Obama administration, and what it really means is that he's been able to connect with voters, that he is a strong communicator, and this is going to be a very valuable tool for this president as he tries to win passage of the broader economic recovery plan through the Congress. Don't forget, Republicans still don't like a lot of this, but right now, according to the polls anyway, Mr. Obama has a majority of the country on his side.
You know, Jim, as you just mentioned, the Republicans, and we saw in the piece that the Louisiana governor, Bobby Jindal, countering a lot of the points that Mr. Obama raised, even went to the extent of calling the stimulus package irresponsible. How widely does that sentiment resonate among Republicans?
Well, it's a good question. The Republicans are a bit divided right now. It's a party trying to find its way. One of the reasons you saw a relative newcomer to the national stage like Governor Jindal give the response was because they're sort of searching for a new generation of leadership. There is a heavy body of opinion within the Republican Party that the president's stimulus plan was too weighted towards spending and that there should have been more tax cuts. But at the end of the day, Republicans need to be careful that they really seem to be offering nothing more than criticism of the president's plan.
Jim,
and right now I think that's where the president has them on the defensive a bit.
Now, very quickly, we know that the whole world was watching the speech and has been analyzing. Why do you think everybody else should really take note of what the president was talking about last night?
Well, this economic crisis has spread around the globe, and what happens in this country economically is extremely important for the rest of the world. There wasn't a lot of talk about foreign policy, for example, but we expect to hear more about that, especially Iraq in the days to come. This president's main focus here domestically, though, is turning around the economy.
Jim, very briefly, in less than 30 seconds, what about the foreign policy focus? He didn't really touch that much into it. How significant is that?
Boy, what a change from George W. Bush. It was mostly about the war on terror during the Bush years. There was mention of that. We're going to see more of this in the days to come, but for right now, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is the point person on foreign policy, and this president is extremely focused like a laser beam on turning around the economy. That's where his priority is at the moment.
Jim Malone, thank you so much for your insights into that.